So for this project, I decided to take a movie that I'm already quite familiar with and that I think a lot of people are familiar with and look at it through a pair of fascism goggles, so to speak. Now, knowing what I know about fascism, seeing how I could connect it to the film. So I chose the movie The Lion King, which again, I'm sure everybody has seen at least once, and I decided to take a look at Scar's reign and see how I could apply the components of fascism that we've learned throughout the class and that we've been discussing. So the one that was kind of very obvious was the fact that Scar was not voted into power. However, that one can't necessarily be focused on because it is a monarchy. The king wasn't voted into power, he was just kind of born that way. And Simba was going to naturally kind of take that just because that's how a monarchy works. However, there were some other components of fascism that were quite vibrant, I would say. The first one was that he was promising a rebirth after a form of tragedy. So when Mufasa dies and he usurps the pride, he says that, yet out of the ashes of this tragedy, we shall rise and greet the dawning of a new era in which lion and hyena come together and greet a great and glorious future. So he's saying, even though this tragedy has just happened, your king and I also think the prince have just been killed, even after this tragedy, we are going to come through it and something great will happen at the end. So the fact that he's promising such a rebirth is a very key tenet of fascism. He talks about the hyenas, and he's able to essentially get the hyenas to do his bidding for him because of this charisma he has. He's a very charismatic and very kind of flowing leader. In the song Be Prepared, where he's talking about a lot of his ideas and ideals and essentially getting the hyenas to do his work for him, while he's talking about being, a fantastic leader and talking about all this repression that he's had, the hyenas only really care about the fact that they're going to be getting more food out of this deal. Scar is singing about, I'm going to be fantastic. The hyenas are saying meat, meat, endless meat. The hyenas also come into play for a different part of fascism, which is the supremacy of the military. Now, they're hyenas, they're not necessarily a military, but they kind of act as Scar's military. And they've actually been drawn into comparison with the Nazi Party and with Hitler's reign. During a part of Be Prepared, they're marching and they're just kind of staring at him in a very organized way. And that's always been kind of drawn into comparison with Hitler and the Nazi Party and how the military is always kind of first and forefront. Now, obviously, in the animal kingdom, things like media and business and religion can't necessarily be there and be focused on, but things like rebirth, charisma of the leader, and the military supremacy, those can still be focused on in a movie like The Lion King.